Good evening. The Chief Inspector of Schools in England, Sir Michael Wilshaw, has issued a damning verdict on how some schools in Birmingham have been run. He'd been investigating claims of a hardline Muslim takeover at...
Every decision on trade, on taxes, on immigration, on foreign affairs will be made to benefit American workers and American families. We must protect our borders from the ravages of other countries making our products, stealing our companies, and destroying our jobs. We will make America great again. Thank you, God bless you, and God bless America. Thank you.
Good evening. The Chief Inspector of Schools in England, Sir Michael Wilshaw, has issued a damning verdict on how some schools in Birmingham have been run.
Your first goal since 2 months in championship. You feel better now?
Since 2 months.
Yeah. In champion? In the championship, in League One?
Something?
Yeah, but it's...
Please, my friend, stop. If you don't know your information, don't talk.
The Education Secretary, Michael Gove, has ordered an inquiry into the role of Ofsted and whether his department ignored warnings about religious extremism in schools. He also told MPs that the inspection regime would be strengthened.
I think he's at the right club, he's at a great club, and I think that part of a really good group. And he'll play his part this year, I'm sure of that. It's a long season. At the moment it's not showing, but I think he's at the right club, he's at a great club, and I think that part of a really good group. And he'll play his part this year, I'm sure of that. It's a long season. At the moment it's not showing, but I think he will in the future.
Relatives of residents who died at a care home in West Sussex, where conditions were described as harrowing. Campaigning left before people in Scotland cast their vote on independence. The former Prime Minister Gordon Brown entered the fray today, saying Westminster politicians had been wrong to be negative about what an independent Scotland would mean. Both sides in the debate have stepped up their efforts to persuade voters. An average of the last 6 polls of those who have made up their minds suggests the No campaign is leading, with 58% of Scots wanting to stay in the Union, with particularly strong support among women. That leaves 42% now backing an independent Scotland. Our special correspondent Alan Little reports. Campaigning left before people in Scotland cast their vote on independence. The former Prime Minister Gordon Brown entered the fray today, saying Westminster politicians had been wrong to be negative. There are now just 100 days of campaigning left before people in Scotland cast their vote on independence. The former Prime Minister Gordon Brown entered the fray today, saying Westminster politicians had been wrong to be negative about what an independence.
ロハス熊本の野党小一郎です。よっちゃん、結婚おめでとう。シーズン中ということもあり、式に参加できなくてとても残念です。来年絶対、J2 昇格し、レベスタのピッチでまた会おう。よっちゃん、おめでとう。
And you can see more of Karen Allen's report from South Sudan on Newsnight on BBC2 after the news.
よっちゃん、ひろこさん、ご結婚おめでとうございます。よっちゃんとはもう出会って10年ぐらいですかね。自分が大学1年の時ですね、サークルに入った時からの友達で、サークルに入った時ですね、あまり自分が友達がいない中、声かけてもらったり、遊びに誘ってもらったりしたことがすごく嬉しかった思い出があります。卒業してからあまり会えてないけど、また一緒に飲みに行ったり、一緒に話したりしましょう。ご結婚本当におめでとうございます。お幸せに。
And you can see more of Karen Allen's report from South Sudan on Newsnight on BBC2 after the news.
よっちゃん、ヘロちゃん、結婚おめでとうございます。よっちゃんから付き合ってるっていうのを聞いたときに、キャンプに一緒に行けたり、バイクに乗れたり、味噌玉が美味しいっていうのを聞いて、すごいのろけてるなと思ったのが一番の思い出です。今日は行けなくて本当に残念なんですけど、楽しんでください。また飲み行きましょう。では。
With just 3 days to go until the start of the World Cup in Brazil, England have been training in Rio de Janeiro ahead of their opening match against Italy on Saturday. But the build-up to the Brazilian tournament is continuing to be overshadowed by violence and protests. Our chief sports correspondent Dan Roan is there.